Hi Farm Fam, hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to do a little, what do they call it, a PSA, public service announcement? Sure. And you know, my dog Moxie, she looks adorable, she looks really friendly, and she is really friendly, but she also doesn't like to be touched or handled very often. It took my husband and I 6 months for her to finally really let us show affection to her. But a lot of people, especially children, see her and just think they can just come up and interact with her. And I just wanted, and I guess it bothers me because, I understand really liking animals, but people need to be more educated on how to interact with animals. And it's not always very intuitive for a lot of people. So I wanted to do a quick little demonstration on how you need to teach your children or nieces and nephews, whoever it is, because dog bites are on a huge rise right now. I don't know the statistics on it, the numbers, but it's so common for especially children to get bit. And I would love to say, I wish that all owners were training their dogs and that all people knew how to be with dogs. But unfortunately, especially children are very overwhelming to dogs, to animals in general. Because children have this energy, and animals like the peace. They like having high energy and being fun, but they need a strong, peaceful foundation to work on. And so like when we first got Moxie, she wasn't a huge fan of kids. She would, because when we're annoyed, we can tell someone, please stop, back away, don't touch me. But dogs, they move away. And like that might be, like hopefully, if it's a stable dog, a child will reach out to touch them and they'll move away. Or human, an adult, child, and then if they're tied, like if they can't move due to a leash or they're in a room, maybe they'll try to, they'll look really small. If that doesn't work, they'll growl. And if that doesn't work, they'll either bite or they'll probably bark or bite or nip. And so we had to really keep an eye on the kids, my nieces and nephews, with Moxie, because if they did not leave her alone, even when I told them repeatedly, or other kids, she would turn and nip, because she was in a confined space and she never made contact with them. But that was her way of trying to say, please leave me alone, because they were not listening to her. And now she is way better, because Dave and I have just worked so much with her because we understand that not all kids are going to leave her alone. And I've had to do this in multiple public situations where parents just let their kids run up to her to pet her. And I've taught this quite a few times and telling kids, you need to leave her alone and try to teach them the signs. So I'm going to kind of walk through what I don't want to say what should be done, because everyone's a little different. I'm going to show you what I do and what you should do if you want to approach a dog. So, shh, come here. Good girl. Oh, you're so good. Oh, you're so clever. Good girl. All right. So if I'm walking her, come here. Heel. If I'm walking her, stop. And someone wants to come up and touch her, I'm going to make sure she's in a controlled environment. Hey, come here. Sit. Wait. I'm going to make sure she's in a controlled environment. If she is pulling, okay. You saw there, I brought her into a sit and had her leave it. And so if your dog, or if you come up to a dog that's pulling on a leash, it doesn't mean they're aggressive. It doesn't mean they want to hurt you. More often than not, they're excited. They want to learn new things, because not a lot of dogs get the exposure that they need. And so the exposure and training. And so if I'm walking a dog and someone shows interest, I'm going to put her into a sit, or at least make sure she is in a controlled environment. And then you as the individual, don't just let your kids run up. You need to ask the owner, your dog is adorable. Your dog is super cute. I really like whatever it is. Can I please touch it? Or can I please pet it? May my kids pet the dog? You need to teach your kids to ask the owner first. Whether it's a dog, cat, horse, it doesn't matter. You need permission because you don't know this animal. The owners hopefully know them very well. And so there are situations where I will tell people, no, you cannot pet her, or please don't pet her right now because Moxie is done. Come here. Come around. So, for example, hi. Oh, you see that? Oh, maybe you didn't see that. Come here. Good girl. Hi. I don't know if you noticed that. So I went to pet her and she ducked her head. She kind of pulled back and ducked her head. So I'm going to pet. Oh, she wants to be pet right now. So even there, like, she knows me, and I went to pet her, and I was a little bit more, well, I push her limits anyway, because I want her to learn to just tolerate different things. But she put her ears back and ducked. And that was her just saying, I don't know if I really want this, but I'll accept it from you. You need to be aware of the dog's body language, because owners aren't always going to be aware. Unfortunately, I don't want to say I know I understand animals, but I feel like I have a lot better of a grasp than average people. And and that's just become with a lot of experience. I had horses for years. I worked with horses. I really focused on the body language of animals. And it's not like it just happened naturally. I've worked on this for a long time. I've done a lot of research. And so you need to watch that body language, because if the owner isn't watching, just don't talk to the owner and let your kid just go to the dog. Because I would love to say nothing would happen, but you don't know that. Animals just, they're different than us. They have the way they interact with each other is different. When a dog bothers another dog, they will turn and potentially bark or nip or do a slight bite to correct. And in the doggy world, that is totally okay. But in the human world, that's not okay. And so we need to teach that. And so now I'm going to see if Moxie will cooperate with me. I'm going to put her into a sit, and I'm going to act like I'm the individual who wants to pet her, and then kind of show you what to do a little bit. All right, come here. Come here. Come. Good girl. Here. Sit. Wait. Good. Hi, can I pet your dog? Oh, thank you. I forgot to mention that when I'm letting Moxie meet someone for the first time, I actually say, go say hi. And so that gives her a command and lets her know that everything is okay, because I use that when she meets other dogs. And so it's more fun for her than just letting someone come up to her. I give her permission to go up to them and say hi. So I'm not gonna go like this. I'm going to put my hand here and pet the side. That'll give her a chance to smell me. And down here is a lot less stressful than up here. If they don't know you, this can be hard. Sit. So keep your hands down here to the side, and probably just one hand to see what they like. Okay. I'm wearing a jacket, but Moxie's actually pretty hot, so she wants to stay in the shade of the side-by-side. Okay, good girl. And so you saw that she stayed in a controlled environment, and you bring the hand to the side or lower. That's a much better place to pet really any animal than going right for the top of the head, because then they can't see you. They don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there are some dogs you can do anything to, and they're just going to love it. You know, they just want to be loved all the time. But not all animals are like that. Moxie, I can get a few seconds of good petting, and then usually she's done. And that's fine. It's just who she is. And so don't just assume every dog is nice, especially for the children. I just can't emphasize it enough. So many people, especially children, are hurt by dogs. And we're taking out any dogs who maybe are old or in pain. You know, there are some exceptions that no matter what you do, but just everyday dogs. And Moxie's not perfect, but she is much more well trained than many dogs. And then also, when I see this a lot, when you meet a dog and people want to be like, oh, it's so cute, like, meh. That is a very aggressive stance for a dog. I don't know if aggressive is the right word. It's very overshadowing. When you bend your body over them and reach for them, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, if you catch yourself doing it and the dog seems to accept it, great. If you do that to everyone who has ever done that to Moxie, she will back away very quickly. She does not like that, appreciate it. If you want to bend down, not like this. You can keep straight, because that's a lot less aggressive to animals, a lot less intimidating. That's a better word maybe than aggressive. Intimidating for dogs. We'll just stick with dogs. And also, whenever I come near a dog or a dog I don't know, I might say something just to let them know that I know they're there, but I will ignore them. The best way to win a dog's affection most of the time is ignore them. Moxie, I have my cousin, Stan, and maybe a couple other people that they usually just ignore her all the time. And she loves that. She wants to interact with them, but because they ignore her, she trusts them because she knows that they aren't going to overwhelm her. And so because of them actually ignoring her, it makes her more comfortable with them. And that's a big deal. I know you see an animal and you just want to love it, but animals are not stuffed animals. They're not these toys. They're also not just here for our pleasure and entertainment. They are living beings that have personalities. They have feelings. They have boundaries. They have their strengths and weaknesses, and that's okay. And we kind of need to accept that animals, and yes, there is a level of respect and restraint that they need to show, but we can't just expect that to happen everywhere. And we need to make sure, protect ourselves, protect the dogs, and protect the kids. Stan did a great job with this. My niece Sophie had gotten scratched by a cat, I think. I think it was a scratch, but she was by the cat, and she was just chatting with her dad and said that Moxie had bitten her. And Stan did such a wonderful job with this because he said, instead of being like, no, Moxie did not do that. Nah. He was like, well, if Moxie did do it, this is what's going to happen. And talk to her how about dogs that bite people are put down and they are killed. Moxie wouldn't be around anymore. And it was such a great educational moment. So Sophie thought about it and was like, it was a cat that scratched me. But it was like while Moxie was around, she was holding a cat. The cat got nervous and scratched her. And I love animals. Animal welfare, animal being, that's just a huge part of my life and who I am. And that's why I want to say this. Sit down, and I'm going to talk to those of you with children. And those of you who act inappropriately with animals, this is great for you too. Sit down with them. Tell them the consequences of not acting properly with animals. It's okay for them to have a little fear, I guess. I don't know if fear is right. Respect. To not just run up and pet a dog. To not just go up to an animal and do whatever they want with it. To sit down, and go and practice with this. They have a stuffed animal. Practice asking the owner for permission. How to properly pet an animal. How to, do different things. And yeah, whenever I work with children with animals, whether it's cows, horses, dogs, I always go through this because it is one of the most important lessons you can ever learn. It's so important for your safety to help keep, and it's important to learn an animal's body language. Like, is a dog running up to you? Is that aggressive? Is that fear? Or is it playful and fun? You learn that. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on this. There's a lot of excellent dog trainers on this. And I didn't put it in my other dog video, and I'll try to remember in this one to put in the description about the dog trainers I love, because especially Beckman's, I think I say that, Beckman's dog training, he talks so much about the body language and how dogs interact with each other, and yeah, learn that. And even if you don't have animals, you're not interested in animals, but if you are finding your children or yourself interacting like in those ways I've talked about, not appropriately with animals, you need to do that for everyone's safety. So anyway, quick video. I'll probably talk on similar subjects or like similar stuff, because we care about the health, your physical health of healthy food, but we also care about your health and safety in other aspects like this with animals, and especially where we work with animals and we want people to come visit us. I want you to come visit us and also feel confident that when you're around the animals, you're also going to act appropriately to keep them safe, to keep yourself safe, and just everyone to be happy and enjoy each other. And, I wish I could take my dog everywhere, but unfortunately, because people don't train their dogs right or people don't understand dogs, I'm not able to. And I understand that and hope maybe one day that'll change. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. It's tomorrow, Friday. We're getting close to the weekend. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. Hope you guys have had a great beginning of December. I really can't believe it's December already. When I wasn't working on the farm, I just always knew what day it was, what the month it was, and people are like, "Oh, I can't believe it's already December." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I get that now because it's just gone by so fast." So anyway, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.